Well, hello again. So Super Dave here. I'm actually with one of my first mentoring clients, and she's actually a member of my Toastmasters club, and her issue is she's a salesperson who got dumped into a situation all of a sudden that she wasn't really ready for. It was bringing her a lot of stress. And she and I had a talk for about an hour the first time, and the next time we met, a week later at the club, she had an amazing story to share based on what we talked about in less than an hour, really. And it was so powerful that I felt that it was important for you to see the ability you have to have change very quickly. I'm not just saying that in the book and in all the stuff that I write. Here's a living example of that, and so I wanted to share that with you and just give you a couple of minutes of what she's doing. So again, this is a good friend of mine from Toastmasters. Her name is Pamela, and I'll just kind of say, Pam, what exactly did we talk about? Start with.
Well, Dave, the first night that you and I met, I came to Toastmasters because of an issue I was having at work, because I don't feel comfortable speaking in front of people. And really I came to get help with speaking. And after the first initial meeting, you and I sat down and had a one-on-one. You really did a coaching, like you say, with me. You shared a lot of information about your progression along the years, and I took a lot of notes after that first meeting. But what was so neat about it is within 2 days of talking to you about all of the different things and issues and maybe types of situations that would impact my life and make me feel insecure or that I couldn't do something, I heard the same exact message. 2 days later, I was watching an interview with a very famous movie star. I don't know if I should mention her name or not, but anyway, she was talking about her transformation when she first started out in acting and how her career just really took off. And it was an amazing ride for her, and she was so successful. It was really unexpected, and she started to get a lot of attention. And as people started to interview her and ask her about her success, they also brought in the fact of, wow, how are you handling the pressure and all the demands now that you're famous and you're in this new position and you're in the spotlight all the time? Don't you feel pressured, and don't you just feel a lot of stress, and how are you handling the anxiety? And they really started to focus on the negative aspects of it, where she went into it really excited about her accomplishments and where she was. And it brought back a memory of mine. One of the first things you said to me was, what's going on in your life, or what are the outside influences that might be making you feel the way that you do when you experience anxiety and when you experience the lack of confidence that you do. Where is all that coming from? It has to be somewhere else, something else in the environment has had an impact on you, because that's not a natural reaction or reflex. I think you said that we're born with two reflexes, or two fears. One is the fear of the dark, and the other is falling, and all this other stuff that we're afraid of. Society has kind of
learned,
spoken to us or implied to us that we should feel these ways that we feel.
Right.
And that was so huge to me, because I just thought it's natural, it's a part of who I am, it's part of my DNA. Everybody's afraid to get up and speak in front of people, instead of really focusing on this great opportunity that I have professionally, that I've studied really hard, I've worked really hard, I've applied my talents to get to where I am now. People are noticing that. People are coming to me saying, hey, we want you to share that. We want you to represent our company. We want you to go out, meet new clients, and help us win work. That should be a proud moment for me, something that I'm really excited about, that I've been able to accomplish this, and I've done all of this while juggling a family and children, and my husband travels at work, so it's been very difficult. So instead of feeling proud of myself, I'm kind of looking at the negative side, or looking at it as the glass being half full, I guess, and focusing on the negative, and what if I don't do it right, or what if I mess up, or those types of things that really I shouldn't be focusing on, and that they are learned. But when I saw this other person that I've really probably looked up to or admired, and I thought, wow, they felt the same way. And if I were in her shoes, I certainly wouldn't feel that way. I would feel so excited and so happy about where I was or where I am, but so many times we don't see that in ourselves. We focus on the negative, or we do listen to the outside noise. But I was so excited to share that with you, because I immediately thought about you when I saw that interview, and I thought, I've got to go tell Dave that what he shared with me was really genuine. I know you've worked really hard on your project and your book, but it's not a gimmick or something packaged that you're selling. It's something real that I've experienced and that other people have experienced too. So I just wanted to thank you for sharing that insight with me, because I think if you hadn't sat down and spent that one-on-one time with me, I could have probably saw the same interview again, but I wouldn't really have picked up on that, and I wouldn't have been able to apply it to my life and to really help me turn it into a positive and something that I could learn from to make me stronger.
Okay, the most important thing I want you to see here is that just from the time that she and I spent together, an hour or so, she was able to go home and just watching TV, she was able to pick up on this other side. These reporters were asking this gal, well, gee, how are you handling all that stuff? Well, let's go back to one of my launch videos, and it was about, well, be careful what you wish for, and, once you get to the top, it's lonely at the top, and there's only one way to go, and it's down, and everybody has a thing about being successful. Well, here she was 2 days after we had our talk, but yet she had already developed the insight to question those reporters who asked this woman, well, how are you handling all the stress, when she was freaking out because her life was going so good, because her acting career was going so good. We have been so programmed that we just accept the fact that, what a great question. Okay, yeah, I would have asked that same question if I was a reporter, because that's, everybody knows that it's tough at the top, and, there's very few people who are going to be movie stars, and they're just different than we are, and actually they're not. They have talent that was pursued and accomplished, but they still have the same issues we have. But it took someone on the outside looking in to say, well, aren't you all stressed out because of this or because of that? And she told me, she said, I never really thought about that. I've just been too happy being successful. So 2 things I want you to take away from this latest post, and that is, one, that Pamela was able to make this kind of insight, to be able to pick up on something that probably is one of the most normal things that we see on TV. Everybody wants to focus on the negative, but in 2 days of just chatting, I know I told her earlier, I talked about 1,000 things, coming like the spokes on a wheel, talking about all this stuff, trying to make one point so that so many different aspects could be brought forth, so that she could see what I was trying to get at to help her on her speaking as she got over her fear, was all about kind of one thing. But yet she left that time and was 2 days later able to apply those tools, her own new psychic tools, into her life like that. I was freaking out when she told me this. This was 2 weeks ago when you told me, because I haven't seen her. I didn't see her last week.
Right.
And she told me that, and I was like, my God, what a powerful thing when you're able to refer somebody to do something, and then they turn right around and are able to do it without anything. I didn't coach her to go watch for something. This just happened in her life, and just bada boom, bada bing, and here she was making this kind of insightful, wow moment. That same thing that Pamela experienced is also available to you, and that's why I keep saying in all of my stuff that, yes, 5 years for me, because I learned this stuff and I applied it in my life, and my life changed as I learned it, and we brought it all together, and I was able to share just a little bitty piece of that with her in about an hour. And yet she's a different person than she was before, because she's now a more insightful person. She can see the difference between what we think, what they say we should think. She has an insightful eye to say, well, wait a minute. That's not necessarily the case, because I know that it doesn't have to be that way. And her insight, picking up on that gal's response, well, yeah, I was happy. Well, I never even thought about being anxious. There's another learned response. She was happy till someone said, why aren't you stressed? What a great example to show you that what Pamela has gone through in a week is the same thing that's available to you as soon as you just open up your mind, accept what's possible for you, and in her case, hopefully made her more comfortable as she moves forward into her next presentation or the next and the next, instead of, as she put it, spending 2 weekends putting my life on hold because I was so nervous. Hopefully we have given her a psychic weapon, a tool that she can now apply and attack those feelings and say, man, I don't believe that, I don't like it, and now I know that it's not necessarily forced on me. I choose to feel this way without even realizing I did.
Mm-hmm.
So now I choose to not. That is the power of everything I'm talking about. It's not about me, it's about what I've learned that I want to help you learn. It's all about opening up your mind to your own possibilities. And she's a better person just simply by applying one little bitty thing in her life. What's going to happen to her in 6 months from now, a year from now, when she keeps growing, keeps growing. The same thing that can happen to you. I've experienced it. This is just another example of something I've already gone through before. And just to hear it from somebody brand new into talking to me, didn't even know me from Adam. And here 2 days later, she was able to say, yes, she's an intelligent professional woman, but she's no smarter or dumber than the normal person. She's just opened up her mind and been willing to think differently. That's what it's all about. You can think you're never going to be successful and nobody can make money and only this many people can make $1 million and these kind of attitudes. Or you can say, well, there's another way to think. And there's an example of it right there. And that's why I asked her to break off a little chunk of her busy life with her family and her job just to come spend a few minutes with me and with you so that you could see that here's a living example that I did not know prior to 3 weeks ago. And she's had an amazing, what I feel is a profound insight into really not just that. Every part of her life now will be changed because she now has that insight to apply not only to that woman watching on TV, but to every single person who goes into a situation like that. That's going to apply to everything in your life. Every aspect of your life is now different because you will see it different. That's the power. And you just scratched the surface. I can't wait to talk to you in a year from now. See where you are.
Great. I look forward to it, Dave.
Once again, this is Old Super Dave, and this is my friend Pamela from Toastmasters. And we want to thank you for taking the time to check us out. And once again, this will be on video, and I didn't get all my mic and everything all set up. I have it a digital recorder, so I'll have audio for you. And of course, I'll have it written as a manuscript in the blog post. So you'll get all three media again. And I want you to begin to start taking this stuff to heart with a real live example of something that has actually happened to someone else just by chatting with me and opening up her mind. So once again, thanks so much. You have yourself a wonderful day, and I'll be talking to you soon.